Do you ever read a book that takes place in a fun setting or an exotic setting, and you say to yourself, gee, I'd like to go there? That happens to me all the time, so here's a list of books that inspire me to travel. A Town Like Alice takes place in Alice Springs, Australia, and another good reason to visit is it's the jumping-off spot for Uluru, formerly known as Ayers Rock. In A Sunburned Country is Bill Bryson's grand tour of Australia. He has funny stories, and it's a wonderful travelogue of the continent. Really makes me want to go there. Driving Over Lemons takes place in the Granada region of Spain, and it's about a British expat who moves his family and buys a farm down there. A Trip to the Beach is another expat story as the Blanchards, an American couple who live in Virginia, decide to move to Anguilla in the Caribbean and start up a restaurant. Into Thin Air is John Krakauer's account of the deadly events in Mount Everest in May of 1996 when 8 people died after getting caught in a blizzard. Travels by Michael Crichton is a collection of his travel stories, and even if you're not a Jurassic Park fan, this collection of travel stories will entertain you and inspire you to visit some of these locations. James Michener's novel, The Drifters, takes place mainly in Torremolinos, Spain, and follows the stories and travel of several young men and women and how they all came to live in a house in the south of Spain. I'm a fan of cozy mysteries, so when I discovered Maui Widow Waltz, I was hooked to read all the books in the Islands of Aloha Mystery Series. Each one takes place on a different Hawaiian island and makes me want to visit each one of them. Hop on board the Aloha Express and read the Aloha Lagoon series that takes place in Kauai. Makes me thirsty for a Mai Tai. The Getaway Girlz is a series of books that are part chick lit, part mystery, and part travelogue. The girls are 4 longtime friends who get together for vacations, and so far they've traveled to Mexico, Colorado, New Orleans, and New York. The Murder Packs a Suitcase is a short-lived series of 2 books before the publisher canceled any more novels. The first writing assignment the main character receives is to cover tourist attractions in Orlando, Florida, and the second book, Too Rich and Too Dead, answers the question, can non-skiers have fun in Aspen, Colorado? The Dead End Job Mysteries takes place in Fort Lauderdale and in nearby locations. In fact, in one novel, the main character went to the Bahamas. Fun, sun, and palm trees in southern Florida. Great books to read in the winter when I'm really craving a vacation in a warm, sunny place. Sticking with Florida, it's time to head to Siesta Key near Sarasota and the Dixie Hemingway series. More sand, sun, beach, and sunsets in this idyllic Florida setting. I'll have to take the bridge and cross over to visit Siesta Key the next time I'm in the Sarasota area. Sticking with sunny Florida, the Pineapple Port Mystery Series takes place in a fictional town there. Originally I grabbed the book thinking it took place in Hawaii, and that makes sense with pineapple in the name, but hey, Florida works for me too. Let's finish up with the Candy-Coated Mysteries, which caught my eye because it involves a fudge shop, one of my favorite snacks. The series takes place in Mackinac Island in Michigan, and tourists step back in time to a Victorian era where no cars are allowed, and they get around the island on foot, bike, or by horse-drawn carriage. Beside the quaintness of the island, the big tourist draw is a large number of fudge shops, and the tourists are called fudgies. And what can I say? I want to be a fudgy!